are the Robert O'Rourke's who trying to compare Trump to Nazis, and Ocasio-Cortez that is trying to say the same thing, but she, depending upon the crowd, her voice changes. Well, I'll finish up with this, and I thought the show would go a little short tonight because there's a lot I could cover, but I didn't want to cover too much on a Friday night, but it looks like we'll be able to go the full 55 minutes here. Do you think... Well, you know what? Let me cover this story before we get to... I'm asking you a question to finish up. Okay, let me ask you this. And then we're going to finish up with, do you think that President Trump, as of right now, if the election was held today, do you think he would get reelected? But before we get to that, this is from the Military Times. If you serve in the military, you have to be at least 18. Do you think that someone in the military should have a right to own a gun? They carry guns. They're trained to kill with them. They're willing to die for our country. Do you think that 16-year-olds who are still in high school should be able to vote what happens in the country, considering that the neuroscientists have said their brain isn't even finished developing? Do you think that children, it should be legal for adults to have relations, or for children to the age of 12 with consent to have sexual relations with people? And do you think that if you're in the military, or if you're in Maryland, that you should be at least 21 to be able to buy tobacco? Do you see the confusion? It doesn't make any sense, right? At 18, you're considered an adult. I'm going to say a couple things. I'm not a fan of smoking. I think it kills people, and I think it's pretty obvious it kills people. And I know chewing tobacco gives people cancer in the lip. And I know that drinking, which is not good for you, it's illegal. So my question is, and do you agree with me that if you're 18, should you be able to drink, smoke, own a gun just from the time you're 18? Or should we wait till 21, even though you're an adult, and if you're in the military, you can die for your country? Should you wait till you're 21 before you do any of those? I think it's a good question, because what's happening, depending upon the state, your age fluctuates significantly. So this article from the Military Times, Maryland raises age to buy tobacco to 21, but at least they made an exception for troops. Why? Oh, man. Oh, okay. I guess that's a hodgepodge to my answer to my question, huh? The Maryland General Assembly passed a bill Wednesday that will raise the legal age to purchase tobacco products to 21. And while the bill is designed to protect teens from damaging effects of smoking, one under 21 demographic was made exempt to the policy change: military personnel. Senator Michael Hoff originally proposed the exception for service members who present a military ID as a means to help get the bill approved by Republican voters who were opposed to the policy change. To say that people in the military, if they're not 19 or 20, can't smoke a cigarette or a cigar, to me was an affront, he told the Baltimore Sun. So it's bizarre. So the left is like, well, we can get votes if we say that we're against smoking. So we're gonna say 21 now for everybody, but we can't get the normal American to agree with that. So we're going to say normal American. Do you think it's okay that if we're going to wait, just like with drinking alcohol, for everyone to be at least 21? But because we know you respect the military, and we know that people over 18 in the military are willing to die for our country, we're gonna say that smoking under 21 is really bad. But to get your vote, we're going to say, but military under 21, it's not really, it's bad, but because we need your vote, it's permissible. See, to me, I'm a pretty straightforward guy. If you're an adult, now I don't agree with these things, but I'm just trying to, I'm more of a libertarian when it comes to some things, not abortion by any means, or sexual or gender issues. But when it comes to things like this with guns, if you're 18 especially, if you're an adult and you can serve in the military, or you can be held liable if you do a crime, you then will be prosecuted as an adult. Then if the state says that we found that drinking for people up to 21, this many people die, blah, blah, blah. And the culture says, okay, 21, just because even though you can serve in the military, 90% of people agree with it. So we're going to say 21. Well, then smoking could be 21. But tell you what, when it comes to this 12 years old, 14 years old, trying to accommodate pedophiles and illegal immigrants having sex with kids because they did that in Mexico, that's a bunch of craziness. So that's where you stay with at least you're 18. So in other words, the left is just trying to take a little bit more, and they're just seeing how much the conservative will give up by using military in this bill, and it looks like it's working. And I just think it's really not American. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think people should be barred from owning a gun. I think the First and Second Amendments are written simply, and it says that Congress shall not pass any laws. So judicial activism, which has been allowed to take place, the Supreme Court must get rid of stare decisis and basically say, you know what? You guys ruled this way, but it's just really against the First Amendment. Hate speech laws, they're just flat out against the First Amendment. Gun laws, against the Second Amendment. Okay, zoning laws, blocking churches, against the First Amendment. They need to go back and on some of these, and Roe v. Wade, with new technology, would not have passed when it did. We know when a baby, it would scream when it gets killed in the womb. We know when it's burning alive. We know everything. So it has to be revisited. But Maryland is raising the age to 21, except for the military. To finish up here, the job market came out. Great numbers in March. 196,000 gains in payroll. 196,000 jobs. That's totally amazing, considering that the taxes were cut on everybody. Now, who do you think's do you think President Trump, as of today, do you think he'd be reelected? Wall Street does. Wall Street. This is from CNBC Markets, CNBC.com. 70% of Wall Street thinks that Trump will be reelected in 2020. The key points of the article, while Biden, this is from Thomas Frank, while Biden was viewed as the most stock market friendly possible Democrat candidate, but his wife even came out today. Biden's wife came out saying she wasn't comfortable with all the touchy-touchies. While Biden was viewed as the most stock market friendly possible Democrat candidate, more than 70% expect Trump to be reelected. Elections can affect financial markets. The Dow rallied 8% from the 2016 election to year end as investors grew confident in tax reform and big spending. RBC also said that if Biden does not declare, or the polling data suggests that he won't win the nomination, it could weigh on the market. A new poll shows that a vast majority believe that. We talked about Biden, but I kind of agree with them. And why? What did Carvel, what did What did Bill Clinton's, James Carville, what did he say to the staff when they were trying to get down to the nitty-gritty on could he beat George W. Bush or George H.W. Bush? Guys, it's the economy, stupid. The economy's rocking, and if we get a little illegal immigration under control and get rid of voter fraud, I think President Trump will be reelected too. Thank you for listening. This has been The Informant. You have a great weekend. Get over to magabook.com and the-informant.com. Take care. I'll talk to you Monday.